Hey fans, welcome to SCPCZ, Sonic's Channel Podcast, the very first one. I am Michael Hunter.
And I'm Tim, the Mega Retro Geek.
I'm Kobana Money 456.
And yes, this is the very first podcast on Sonic's Channel. Welcome everybody. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing today?
Pretty good. So what have you all been up to? Like any new projects or anything lately, or?
Mostly just, making videos once in a while and, working on the side, and that's pretty much about it.
And what about you, Kobe?
Yeah, pretty much that. Just trying to finish up some Let's Plays, because I've currently been doing Sonic Heroes and Super Mario Galaxy 2, and trying to finish those up by the time Kingdom Hearts comes out so I can Let's Play that game, but yeah, those are basically all. That's basically all I've been working on lately.
That's cool. So, yes, the recent events that have happened are pretty cool. Recently I interviewed Roger Craig Smith. That's kind of what I've been up to lately, the Roger Craig Smith interview, and also behind all that, I'm still working on Rhino Comics. I'm slowly making progress, but it's still coming, and don't worry, anybody who's looking forward to it, I have not given up on it or anything like that. I'm still working on it, and still drawing a bunch of locations and stuff like that. So, yes, are you all ready to go ahead and get started with this?
Let's do this.
Definitely, sir.
Alright, so some more updates are, oh yes, my friend Gregory Harris, aka Zion the Hedgehog 1, he is working on his own animation film. It's animated by Aerobian Angel, and I have the link in the description for you to watch the trailer for that. Basically, this is like Sonic Spotlight Zone, kind of, sort of, for those of you who have watched Sonic Channel in the past and have watched that series, which kind of ended, so I kind of wanted to merge it into these podcasts. So every feature now will be in not Sonic Spotlight Zone, Sonic's Channel Podcast, SCPCZ, yes. And, yeah, there's that. You also check that trailer out. It's pretty cool. It's very well animated. And, also, Nights into Dreams, they are doing a re-release of that. What do you guys think of that re-release?
I am utterly ecstatic after being an owner of the original game when it first was released in 1996. I'm just glad that it finally got some spotlight after, the sequel that was released on Nintendo Wii was a huge letdown.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just really fascinated that Sega finally emerges, and now we're actually seeing more Sega Saturn games actually starting to finally emerge. Because as you can see, they've been focusing on a lot of Dreamcast re-releases, but now they're finally going further back to the Saturn's library.
Yeah. And what do you think, Kobe?
Yeah, when I first heard the announcement, I was just going crazy. Like, I was tweeting all about it. I was just flipping out because I'd always wanted to beat the game, but I never could because I played it on one of my friend's Sega Saturn when I was younger as a kid, but never did actually play through the full game. And it was only released, I believe, on the Japanese PS2, which actually has region lock, so I could never actually play it. But I love the gameplay, and I actually really did enjoy the gameplay of Knight's Journey of Dreams. I just thought that the voice acting and the story and all was kind of bogged down the experience. But yeah, I'm really excited about this re-release. Very pumped.
Yeah, and
I just gotta say, wait till you see the ending. The actual ending for both the girl and the boy are just astounding. The CG cutscenes back then, I felt like were just worth watching and waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really grew up playing Nights into Dreams, but I somewhat recently, got a Sega Saturn. It was at a yard sale for like $15, so I definitely picked that up. And I ordered Nights into Dreams on eBay. I still haven't gotten too far in the game yet, but from what I've played of it so far, it's pretty fun. I've only gotten to like maybe level 3 at the most. I still haven't fully played through the game, but it's extremely unique, and every time I play it again, I forget how to play it and what I'm doing. But I'm pretty excited about it as well.
Question for you both: when you guys played it, you played the Japanese PS2 re-release. I've heard about this one, and also Michael, did you play with the 3D controller, the one with the analog stick, or just a regular standard controller?
Just a regular standard.
Ooh, yeah. See, that to me, when I got the bundle package with the analog stick, that's where the game really comes to life. And now thinking about it, I'm glad that that PS3 and Xbox 360 users are getting, because with that perfect analog stick, it's gonna feel right at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
I played it on the 3D controller. I thought that was pretty cool back then.
Yeah, I remember playing that with Panzer Dragoon 2, and that game, I was really surprised because it was a game released before this controller was created, and being actually to go back and use this with the analog stick, it really made Panzer Dragoon 2 Zuin really a whole new experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully we end up getting some new, even more Sega Saturn releases in HD. But we'll talk about that probably later in this podcast. But yes, there's also that announcement that Sega made, the Sonic 300-page history book, which looks really awesome. And it's basically going to have the history from like every Sonic cameo that he's ever made, and like this pretty much everything that he's ever been in. It's going to also have some promotional artwork. Just going to have all kinds of information in it. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Honestly, those last pages are going to be pretty dark for me. It's like, let's talk about Sonic and the Black Knight. Let's not, and say we did. Turn the page. There we go. Okay, much better. Out of mind, out of sight. Okay.
They should like completely remove Sonic 06 from the book.
Yes, they should, because it's in the story. It technically wasn't supposed to happen, so don't even put it in there.
Yeah, or could try to erase the memory of the soundtrack from Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Anything like that.
Yeah, hopefully, if I'm able, and I have no idea how much this thing is going to be though, but $30.
Yeah, I think it's $30 on Amazon.
Okay,
it's a pretty solid deal.
Yeah. So if I do get that book, I'm definitely going to do videos on it, showcasing it. But hopefully, I'll be able to do that. Not sure if I'm able to do it or not, but hopefully that'll end up happening. But yeah. Now we are moving on to the next segment, which is Random Sonic Game. Basically, we're going to talk about a completely random Sonic game. I put down a list of like every single Sonic game ever made, and I'm going to put it through a randomizer, and we're just going to talk about a completely random game. Whatever, even if it's a really bad one, we'll just talk about it. Alright. Okay, so here we go. Randomize, and the game. Oh my goodness, why do they have to select this? Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Pretty much just talk about the entire series.
Ooh, wow.
You got me. I've seen it. Never played it. Pass.
Well, let me think.
Go ahead.
I've played the 3DS version, and that's the only version I've ever played. I've never played the Wii version, DS version, anything like that. But I gotta say, it actually impressed me in some ways. I know that sounds so weird, because I was one of the people who just thought it was a terrible idea to put Mario and Sonic together in a series like that. But when I played the 3DS game, I don't know, there was something about it. It was like a minigame collection, and since I kind of expected it to be a minigame collection, the games I actually played, they were pretty good minigames. So I don't know. I guess it kind of impressed me with like how they kind of took advantage of the 3DS hardware and stuff. But you know, I really do think Nintendo and Sega should try to make a Mario and Sonic platformer or something instead of just doing Olympic games.
Yeah, either either a platformer or a fighter would be perfect.
Yes, but they do have Brawl. Yeah, they have Brawl.
Now that's the thing that really disappointed me with this game, though, is that you would think that, like, for the very first game for Mario and Sonic to finally duke it out in something, you would think that it would be something epic, like a fighting game or something. But no, it's the Olympic Games.
there actually is
there's like no competition either. Mario beating Sonic in a race, like,
It's ridiculous.
yeah.
It's kind of like what, kind of like Mario Kart GP in the arcades. You had Pac-Man racing against Mario. It's like, okay, now he's got legs. I never really had legs until Pac-Man Adventure.
yeah. But yeah, I never got into the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. I've always given it chances, but I just cannot find myself enjoying that game for some reason. I'd much rather play something like Mario Party or something. But every time I play the game, it's just, I don't know, it's just boring. I can't enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But one thing that always weirds me out about the Mario Party games, even though it was made by Hudson Soft, I always wondered, did they ever try to sneak in like Bomberman?
I don't know. I think I don't know, it seemed like there was a reference. I'm not sure, though. Do you know anything, Gobi?
Not that I know of. The only Mario Party game I've ever played is Mario Party 4, and I don't recall anything like Bomberman.
Yeah, 'cause I see how they're trying to, in each one from, I remember playing 1, 2, and 3, and I was like thinking, okay, Hudson Soft's gotta sneak something in here. Maybe Bonk from Bonk's Adventure, or even Master Higgins from Adventure Island, something, but no, they never did. And I kept thinking, it's like, wow, because after all the Bomberman games, as soon as they got more popular, they started sneaking in those little characters left and right, and then they stopped. I guess Nintendo didn't want them in there, or they just went their own style, I guess.
So yeah, if any of you viewers know any kind of references they might have put of any Hudson things, whether it's Bomberman or something else, just put it in the comments, so that way we'll be looking for it. And because that would be pretty cool if they did some type of reference like that. So if you know anything, just post it in the comments. So yes, next topic is upcoming games. So there's a lot of games, really cool looking games coming out, and I'm personally excited about the Jet Set Radio re-release and the Marvel vs. Capcom Origins, where they're basically taking the very first, more polished Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and giving it online play and extra unlockables and things like that. So what are some things that you guys are personally excited about that has not come out yet?
Let's see. Sonic Adventure 2 in October, or was it late September?
Yeah, I believe it's
Or,
October.
Yeah, October 3rd.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about
That's
that
gonna
one.
be. Like I said in my previous video, I just hope they don't give you that DLC jargon where you bought Sonic Adventure and then for $5 more you have to upgrade to the DX edition, which is the GameCube version. Kind of like Sonic Adventure transforms into Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I just hope they don't do that, because that's just, to me, that's lowballing. But what else was it? And also in the Marvel vs. Capcom Origins, the one thing is also, not only does it have the original Marvel vs. Capcom, but it also has Marvel superheroes from Capcom as well. Only thing is, it's just weird because there's like so much gap missing from this. I was really happy, and I just call it like a huge retro revival, because I'm really excited about the Jet Grind Radio. And except knowing that 2 generations of 2D fighters in one little origin, because Marvel vs. Capcom was really big when Dreamcast first launched, and then you have Marvel Superheroes, which is from the Sega Saturn and PS1 days. So it's pretty nice to gap finally these 2 generations. But the truth is, when you break it down, you had 3 other games in between before we led up to Marvel vs. Capcom. And those games were, of course, X-Men Children of the Atom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. And the thing is, the icing on the cake that pretty much put the seal the deal on this was X-Men Children of the Atom, because the first hidden unlockable character was Akuma. And it's weird because if you guys actually get a chance, try to go back and play Marvel Superheroes. It's a lot more slow pace compared to what we're used to. It's like playing, I would say, like Darkstalkers, but not as hyper. But solid game though. The animation was fantastic. If it's a perfect arcade port, which I'm pretty sure it will be. It's gonna be amazing because there's a lot of cool things from the And also, one thing I hope they do add in Marvel vs. Capcom is one thing that was missing in the Dreamcast version was cancellation hyper combos. When you were in the middle of the super, you could actually cancel it and then trade off to a character and do that. For some strange reason, it was missing in the Dreamcast version, but in the re-release on the PlayStation 1, they left it in there.
Huh, that's interesting. So, Kobe, anything you're particularly excited about?
Re-releases?
Well, not necessarily re-releases, but just upcoming games.
Oh, upcoming games. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sonic Adventure 2 HD was definitely one of them. That's been something I've just been hoping that they'd re-release sometime. I'm definitely really looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3D. That is, I've been playing the original game a lot lately on my own time, just trying to kind of get a feel for it, because I never have played a Kingdom Hearts game, because all the games were kind of spread out on different systems, and it was like, with the series, you kind of have to understand the story from the previous games in order to actually understand any of the story in the newer games. So, been playing that and then trying to research a bit and kind of like the storyline and everything about it. But played the demo on the 3DS of Kingdom Hearts, and it was just amazing. I'm really excited about that game. That's definitely one thing that's really got me excited right now, even more than New Super Mario Bros. 2.
I'm actually looking forward to that as well, New Super Mario Bros. 2, and also, is it wrong that I'm talking about Mario games on Sonic's channel?
No,
but,
no, not at all.
Yes, I'm actually looking forward to that, and I'm actually looking forward to the Wii U version 2, New Super Mario Bros.
You?
Yeah. Yes. I was about to say me, but they changed the name. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. I really like how they brought back all of the baby Yoshis and stuff like that, and it has some pretty creative looking stuff in there, and normally when they do a new Super Mario Bros. Game, most of the time it's more of the same stuff, but as long as they keep adding new stuff like that, then it helps keep the experience fresh. But I do hope that they add like a level editor or something like that, and also some online play, which would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I gotta agree. That's if the game doesn't have online play, that's something that I'd be really disappointed about, because Nintendo's been talking about how they want to do online play, they want to, get the hardcore gamers and stuff, and it's like, if the game doesn't have online play, it would just be a really big disappointment with me. But actually, there is another game I am excited about. I forgot to mention it. It's Rayman Legends, and that game, it seems like Ubisoft, who I would least expect for them to actually take advantage of the system's hardware so amazingly. It seems like they're actually taking advantage of the Wii U's controller more than Nintendo. Like, they're actually using it in more creative ways. And I just found that absolutely mind-blowing, because I always thought that Rayman Origins was a pretty fun game. I haven't owned the game, but I have played it before, and I thought it was a really good platformer. But just looking at Rayman Legends, it really impressed me. And Ubisoft has confirmed it's actually going to have online multiplayer, so that is something I'm really excited about.
That's awesome. Yeah, there are several games actually that are coming out that I'm looking forward to, but should I mention them, or there's like also Need for Speed Most Wanted. That one looks really cool, but yeah, I could go on and on about games that I'm looking forward to. So I think it's just probably best to, I guess, cut it right here. But yeah, what are some games that you all think that just need to be made? Like, there's that re-release of Marvel vs. Capcom and the re-release of NiGHTS and Jet Set Radio. Like, what games would you like to see re-released, whether it's like an HD port or just a completely new sequel?
Well, first I can actually name 5 of them right off the top of my head. 4 of them are from Capcom and 1 is from Sega. There is, because I love brawlers a lot, Streets of Rage and whatnot, but Capcom needs to put these out on like PSN and HD and whatnot, because after seeing like Guardian Heroes from the Saturn finally get some love, I thought, wow, I hope the future's going to be bright. But here we go. The first two are from Capcom, and they are Knights of the Round and the King of Dragons. These classics were released on Super Nintendo and re-released on the Capcom Art Classics Collection. Amazing games by far. And I have to admit that the multiplayer is awesome. They're like up to 4-player co-op on each one. And let's see. And then Capcom released another one, but it was only released in Japan on the Japanese Saturn. And I have to admit, these games were the Dungeons and Dragons collection on the Sega Saturn. They had Dungeons and Dragons, Tower of Doom, and Shadow over Mysteria. And these games were just amazing. They used the exact same kind of arcade cabinet like X-Men Street Fighter. Or no, I know X-Men the arcade from 1991. The arcade cabinet was huge, but it had like 2 players, I think. Or I think it was, oh my gosh, it's been like forever. I don't remember correctly. It was at 4 players, cooperative. But the Saturn version, you can only play 2 players. But these games really need to be put on the light. I think it's mostly because of the copyright of using the name Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, they're just astounding. Just look up a video on YouTube or something. You gotta see it to believe it. It's just gorgeous. And last but not least, number 5 is like the biggest on my list. I love Golden Axe to death from Sega, but there is a missing sequel. See, the real Golden Axe 2 that we got on the Genesis is not it. It was just some rehashed stuff slammed together. Because for some reason, I felt like it didn't feel like the first or the third one, but this real one was called Golden Axe: The Revenge of Death Adder. This game was just gorgeous. I mean, it had some really incredible special effects for a Sega 16 arcade cabinet, and that's one that really needs to come into the spotlight. And I was really happy because with the re-release of the Golden Axe trilogy on the Vintage Collection for Xbox Live, perfect, top-notch, online play, beautiful, but where's my Revenge of Death Adder?
Yeah, I'm also like a really big fighting game fan. I would love to see a Power Stone 3. That would just be epic. Have the 4-player action with online play. They could easily do that. Even if it's like a downloadable game, I would just love to see a new Power Stone because, in my opinion, I'm not sure if it could, but that game could potentially compete against Smash Brothers because it has all those random items and stuff. And another game I would like to see would be Vector Man, a Vector Man 3. They need to like reboot that game. I would love that because that game was very creative, I think, and of course it was like probably one of the best-selling Sega Genesis games out there. So I would love to see a new Vector Man. And
you know, one game I'm just wondering where the heck, like what's happened to it. But one game I really would like to see is actually kind of a continuation of the Adventure series. I know, you know, like Sonic Adventure 3 was technically like, you know, Sonic 06, but they just called it Sonic the Hedgehog to kind of like make it an anniversary game, but it still kind of had the adventure concept. But I would like to see something like Sonic Adventure like 3 where it basically has a mix of modern Sonic's gameplay, but have a bit more 3D platforming like the Sonic Adventure games. Because I think
that sounds awesome.
Because I think if they actually manage to do that instead of just relying so much on 2D platforming, because I love Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed, but I think that Sega, if they could make a 3D Sonic game to where it was like, you know, they have more 3D platforming and his jump was more like, you know, the adventure games, I think it would be the perfect direction for Sonic, like, you know, for Sonic, because I always love the boost and stuff and how it's more of, it kind of actually, some people say it's like, you know, you just get instant speed and stuff, but when you actually play the stages, it's like speed is a reward, to where if you know how to control it, if you can learn how to control like that much power in your hands, you can actually really, you know, blaze through stages at incredibly high speeds. So, yeah, something like Sonic Adventure 3 or something, like a mix of Sonic Adventure 3 and Sonic Generations. Then another game I think deserves a sequel, most definitely, is Kid Icarus Uprising. Because if you all did not know this, Masahiro Sakurai basically said, I think a couple of months ago, that he currently has no plans to actually continue the Kid Icarus Uprising series, because basically he added everything he wanted to do in the game, Kid Icarus Uprising. I know, surprisingly, I thought that he was gonna kind of build up this franchise and stuff and make it big like the other franchises, but sadly, it's like he actually said he doesn't really have any ideas right now, and he may let someone else actually continue the series, but currently right now he really has nothing. But I would really like to see something like that on the Wii U, because I think it would really take advantage of the game with the dual analogs and all. And then with the Wii U's graphics, I mean, we saw a Zelda Wii U in nearly CGI real-time graphics with 60 frames per second, 1080p. That's what I want to see Kid Icarus in.
1080p?
Yes, it has a
1080p.
Oh. Yeah, 1080p.
That's a lot of... I think that would be too high definition for our eyes to be able to handle.
Well, he said it in proper English. I mean, I can't blame him for that.
And then another game that I've been wondering what's happened to it. What's happened to it is Rodea the Sky Soldier. Have you all heard about that at all? Rodea the Sky Soldier? Yeah, it's basically been forgotten by so many people, and this game is actually pretty much a mix of Kid Icarus, Knight, and kinda, I guess, a bit of Sonic. And it's actually being made by Yuji Naka, the developer at Probe, he's the creator of Sonic, and he actually made his own little side company called Probe in 2006. But he's making the game, and it was supposed to come out. It's been finished for a year now, and it was supposed to come out last year on the Wii, and sometime this year, early this year, on the 3DS, and nothing's been announced about it. It's just basically disappeared, because he's talked about how the game's been finished for so long, and he made it. He said he wasn't going to put it to the Wii U because he basically made the control scheme for the Wii, so he just wanted to put on the Wii. And the 3DS version, he just kind of delayed that because the 3DS had poor sales at the time. But now it's nothing has been said, there's nothing been stated about the game for probably a year now. And it looks amazing, the trailer is amazing, the music, everything. So if you all don't remember that or haven't seen it, definitely go check it out, Rodea the Sky Soldier. That's one game, that would probably hold me until a Kid Icarus Uprising sequel comes, if it does come. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember I played Yuji's last game. What was it? I Beat the Kiwi?
Oh yeah,
that was really awesome.
That was interesting. It reminded me of Flicky a lot, and I was like, that's a nice little throwback. And it just it was really sad just to play it. I'm sitting there, messing with the DS screen. I'm like, Sonic the Hedgehog. Slow tear rolling down.
Yeah, I actually remember the other game that I think should be remade. Even though they are re-releasing the very first game, Jet Set Radio, now it would be cool to see an actual sequel to it, like a Jet Set Radio 3, since we have all these new game consoles now. I would love to see what kind of capabilities these current systems can do. It could probably have some very unique cel-shaded graphics and special effects and things like that, and probably a more polished engine and physics engine and stuff like that. So I would love to see a proper Jet Set Radio future sequel. Jet Set Radio future sequel. Yeah, that.
Yes. Speaking in future tense. That's nice.
Alright, so yeah, that's about it for that. So there's also a fan question from Matt, the owner of Tails Channel. We're going to get some fan questions from the users, but in order to submit a fan question, you're going to have to go to the Sonic's Channel Facebook page, like the page, and send me either a message or a comment with your question that you would like to hear us answer on a future podcast, whether it's gaming related, Sonic related, or just like our interests, like our hobbies, or things like that. Just ask any kind of question. But here is the question that we have from Matt to start out. And he wants to know, what is our favorite Sonic Badnik? And that's kind of hard for me to answer since there's like a bunch of random ones. It would be easier for me to answer like what was my favorite boss. But I'd probably have to say Slicer, the one that everyone hates.
Yeah.
Well, since that was kind of the early 90s kind of thing, I'll just go with Scratch and Grounder.
Yeah, same, because just thinking about it, I really don't have too many Badniks I'm fond of, because I hate them. I mean, that's why I destroy them in the game. But,
Right.
yeah, I guess Scratch and Grounder, because I always liked them in the cartoon series. They were kind of funny.
If you can like tolerate the annoying laugh, then yeah, I agree.
Alright, so yeah, if you all, like I said, if you all have any questions that you would like to ask for us to answer in a future video, just like Sonic's channel's Facebook page. The link is in the description. It's youtube.com, not YouTube, facebook.com/Sonic's channel, and you should be able to find it and like it. Just either comment the question or message it to Sonic's channel, and yeah, that's the way you submit your question. So yeah, that's about it for the podcast. Why am I talking so weird today? But
I do not know.
yeah, let us know what you thought of that video in the comments, whether you like the podcast, you want to see more, whether it's a good length, if you want them to be longer or shorter. Just let us know your feedback on them, and that would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and thank you, Tim and Kobe, for joining us. Also, I should probably mention this. The way the special guests will work in these podcasts is basically Tim is always going to be there with me. He's going to be my official co-host, and we're going to have another guest with us. The third person is going to be a random guest every time. It's going to be someone different, whether they're well known or they need more exposure. Just another good friend of mine. And yeah, that's basically it for the podcast. Thank you all for watching, and y'all want to say anything else before we close?
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you know asking me to join this. This was a lot of fun.
You're welcome. Tim, you got anything you'd like to say?
Thanks a lot for letting me join in the first episode, and hopefully got a lot more coming down the road, right?
Yeah, you said first episode. You're staying. You're not leaving.
Yay!
You're not going anywhere.
Sweet. So I can sleep here?
I'll think about it.
Okay, we're sleeping here.
Yes. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for the support. And once again, make sure you check out that Roger Craig Smith interview. It's pretty awesome. He's an awesome guy. And even if you didn't like his voice acting before, which I liked it anyway, but if you didn't like it, maybe you will reconsider just because of how awesome he is. He has an awesome personality. So check out that interview. You'll love him. And thank you all for watching. This is Michael Hunter.
And this is Tim, the Mega Retro Geek.
And this is Koban Armani 456.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Take it easy.